Got to do our religious rites before we jump on the road. So tomorrow, 6:30, we're starting this train. I'm going to compile this and the first day's travel into one video, which you'll be seeing shortly after this. Wish us luck. I think we're going to make it. We've properly given our homage and respect to the spirit of internal combustion, and it is my hope the combustion will stay internal and not become external. Amen. "4:30 in the morning, we're all frosted up. Thank goodness I've got heat again." And this is the beginning of the trip. This could suck. Let's see how she does. Good morning, honey. Good morning, sweetheart. Fuck it, we ball. Good cutoff too. All right, all systems go. I keep on recording these 5-minute updates when I should probably just get on the road. Temps are good. She's not making any more weird noises than normal. I'm about to put in some noise canceling headphones and head for the hills. Well, we're into the first hour. The sun is finally coming up so I can see. These lights are not really that good at night. And the car seems to be doing well. There's no leaks. All the bushings in the back are shot, so the wind blows around the rear end pretty significantly. I think next season, money allowing, I'll have to rebuild the bushings or rebuild the arms or do whatever needs to be done. And yeah, I think I've also been driving along with my left or my right signal light on for the last 60 miles. Whoops. What a beautiful sunrise though. Back on the road. Well, it's getting cold, but it's still running. It's still doing good. The scenery is lovely. I'm still of the mind I'm gonna need all the rubber in this thing replaced. But you know what? Overall, once it gets to like $3,000, $110, $115, maybe $120, the whole chassis just kind of tightens up and it hunkers down and it drives quite well. So I'll see if I change my opinion as we get further into the mountains. And there we are. That's the mountains. We're still going good, no overheats. It smells like burning oil, but it's not from the tailpipe. It's probably a leak under the hood. But I have no way to solve that. So I figure if I drive fast enough, we'll just keep the flames blowing out. Other than that, on we go. Hinton is just around the corner. We're at the Medicine Lake rest stop right now, and we will continue. Well, as we get into the mountains, the winter is encroaching on the road more and more. We'll have to see how this goes. But I just wanted to show you how much the Volvo weighs right now. 1,280 kgs, whatever that is in pounds, I'm not quite sure. But never pass up an opportunity to do a weigh scale. So that is 60 liters of fuel plus 40 liters of fuel plus gear minus me. So I think if we took all the fuel out, we'd probably be like 1,260 or something like that, which is pretty good. Now I know how much this old girl weighs. Well, onward and upward. Let's see if we run into any ice. So we are now inside the park gates at Jasper. This thing's doing great. Off in the distance there, you see that would be Pyramid Mountain. And Roquerant, I have no idea, but I assume it's that guy up there. It's about 3 degrees. The snow has actually receded from the last post, and bailing is pretty smooth. The park is usually speed limited at 90, going down to 70, which is right in the wheelhouse of what this thing is comfortable doing. So this is not Lake Edith yet. We'll get there. This is a really neat lake, and it drains out every year from what I recall. And in the summertime, people will park here and they'll go wade out halfway across the plain and be up to their knees or their chest. It's really quite neat. The flora and fauna here is amazing. All these little trees just keep on holding on like the rest of us do. What a beautiful place. So we have made it to Lake Edith Cavell, which is a very special place. I spent a lot of my childhood here. And it's sort of a place that doesn't change a lot. And you'll see why that's important in just a moment. The water is so clear here that you can see all the way to the bottom. A lot of history here. Sort of my Garden of Eden. I can rarely come back. And this is also the absolute furthest this car has ever been from home under my care. From here, it's all uncharted territory. I came up here in 2021, family reunion, just a few blocks down the road that way. And the car made it then, sort of. And I assume it'll continue to make it now. And of course, we are on the way into Jasper now. We've got traffic wardens, very furry traffic wardens on the go. A little patchy after a long winter, I think. We're doing all right though. Hey missus, you just go that way, okay? How about you? You good? Hello. You weigh as much as this car. Nothing sacred, I guess. Well, here we are in the Jasper town site. A bit of wind, hopefully that'll cut. Over here we have two weirdos in their car on a leash. Enemies of free movement. Over there we've got a bunch of rainbow flags, more mountains, a hotel, more rainbow flags, more mountains, and some trains. Perhaps this town has changed a little bit. Always here for the graffiti though. Just imagine owning a car that you have to stop and sit there for an hour and chew on your muffin while it suckles from a grid which is already frail to make the weather happy 100 years from now. Whereas this car, if I really need to, I could just take a couple battery packs with me. Unlimited range, well, nearly. Unlike that thing. All right, welcome to British Columbia. We've now crossed over into granola land, Mount Robson Park, with that beautiful vintage sign and a wonderful overlook of whatever that is over there. This is it, Chief. We're now in a different time zone. Yeah. Amazing. Well, that's a good sign. It means our fuel system is still doing return, which means we have a full surge tank. That little guy right there is what's fueling this operation. So the standard tank gets a lift pump to this, and then this goes through to the main fuel pump up to the engine, and then there's a return. And this used to start running dry, and it was a clogged up screen in the tank. At any rate, look at where we are now. Goodness gracious. No wonder we colonized this place. Look at how gorgeous it is. Where are I? I think this is Moose Lake, I'm gonna say. Yeah, sure, we'll call this Moose Lake. This road trip is gonna take forever because I just can't stop looking. Seems appropriate. This thing is very sustainable. So we made it to the Mount Robson lookout point. It's just a nice little visitor center. And the air is warming up as we kind of come out of the mountains again. Car is doing great. I feel like there's a little bit of a miss at certain points in the throttle, but that might be a TPM or a throttle position sensor, TPS, not TPMS. But on the whole, it's doing quite well, and fuel economy this side of Jasper has been better than I would have expected because a lot of it is downhill. I haven't even moved a single needle yet. But what beautiful country. What really throws me for a loop is all of the human effort that was required to put all this into place and to maintain it. It's really nifty. That's what I think about it. And so we've made it past Vale Mount, and as you can see, the terrain has changed a little bit. We still have the mountains, and we're into the evergreens now. This must have all burnt at some point because everything is very short. It's beautiful in any case. This thing's doing good. Smells like burning oil, but again, it's not coming from the tailpipe. It's coming from a hot exhaust manifold, so chances are I've got a slight oil leak, and my temperature gauge decides to stop working on occasion until it's reset. But that's life. So far, we're doing okay. Hopefully I make it. I think I will, though. My confidence, not to say this too loud, has gone up slightly. Well, it almost strikes me that this is more a tour of British Columbia than it is a video about a Volvo. So we're at the Birch Lake rest area right now, and it overlooks this. I don't know if I can get you a good view. This big field that I assume has something to do with agriculture. And a little low fence that would be really easy to jump over. Oh, look at that. There's a road down there, a town, people living their lives. Ford Ranger. Perfect. What an idyllic place to live. Well, certainly not without its problems. It's better than where I come from. And this is a very special place. So if you take a look, all of this was on fire at some point. All this. More on fire than my car. Remarkable. So we're outside of Camloops right now. Getting ready, I think, of about 150K from the hotel. So the day is kind of continued along. This thing is really done quite well. Not that I want to jinx myself, but aside from being a little twitchy above about $1.15, it's got a sweet spot. I'm driving in the sweet spot, and I'm happy. So it's good. Oh, ready for a nap though. It's so beautiful here. My goodness. So here we are, climbing between Camloops and Merritt. The speed limit is $1.20. I'm doing about $1.25. Temperatures are 194. AFR in boost most of the time, somewhere in the 13s. So she's being healthy, which is quite surprising to me. Front end has a bit of a shimmy, which is to be expected. All the bushings are 53 years old, or possibly 30. And on we go. Everything seems to be running pretty decently for the age of the vehicle and the non-standard configuration. We are not overheating. We have plenty of power to pass. We're doing good. And here we are going down the other side, maintaining about a 108 under full vacuum. A little bit of throttle input to keep us going with traffic. No brakes yet. You can hear my, I think I've got some driveline noise that's starting to get worse, and I think that's just the fact that I'm in a constant deceleration. But overall, pretty stable. Now is not the time to be filming. Well, not a bad first day. She made it. I definitely exposed a few little weaknesses, but nothing critical and nothing fatal. Overall, I think this thing brought a lot of happiness to people on the road that weren't just me. A lot of people stopped and looked, and I think I got some thumbs up. I was too busy trying to keep it between the lines to notice, but yeah, she's good. This is a hell of a shakedown run. So when this thing gets back to Edmonton, I think I'm going to have a trusty garage either this year or next to take care of a full set of bushings, front and rear, which do need to be done. Because what happens is the wind will catch the vehicle and push it up against the far edge of its tolerances, and then the wind will push it this way, and then this way, and then this way. And it gets a little bit difficult to control if you're not paying attention. The other thing is I've got some driveline noise. There might be potentially some sort of tail shaft bearing or a diff that's kind of on its way out, because when you have light acceleration or light deceleration, I should partial throttle in either way. You get this moaning out of the rear, but if you let off or you go gung-ho, it goes away. Other than that, it's very loud. I had my hearing protection today, but yeah, overall, I trust this thing about 100 times more than I did when I headed out this morning, and I am going to have a good nap, edit this video, put it up, and then go get some dinner.